Yep.
After we clean. The thing about these are actually gas powered. Good morning and farewell to Fort Morgan, Alabama. It is technically, I think, 6:30 in the morning. It was 5:30 yesterday morning, and 7:30 in Eastern time. But yes, great event, and farewell to everybody sleeping in their tents. Sorry to pull an Irish farewell on you, but I got 9.5 hours to go. And I'm gonna have to hold on a second because I gotta open the gate. All in all, it was a great event. We had nobody in my platoon show up. So I went from being just a regular schmo in my platoon to the week prior being asked to run my platoon because we lost 8 guys, and the other 6 didn't show up either. But there was another platoon who lost 12 guys as well. Hold on. Sadly, due to my late start getting out to here from Florida on Friday, I missed the nighttime tactical, which, as you guys know from the previous video, or the beginning of this video, I really don't know how I'm going to edit this yet, but as you guys know from the earlier part where I said I was excited about doing a nighttime tactical, I was excited about doing a nighttime tactical. As I pulled up, I hear all the guns popping and the cannons blasting, and cannons, it's not World War, it's not Civil War. I'm tired, people. It was like 50 degrees, not counting wind chill last night, like 48 the night before. So artillery pieces that were brought down from the National Museum from World War II up in Louisiana. But anyhow, got here while they're out there having their skirmish. I was setting up my tent and all of my gear, and I can't see a good goddamn thing. All of my gear. So I missed the nighttime tactical, so that was a bit of a bummer. Anyhow, it was cold, chilly. Here's a little secret for you guys who do a lot of warm weather camping and don't get up in the cold airs too often, who sleep in a pub tent. 2 things I figured out. Sadly, I didn't figure them out until, well, one of them I didn't figure out until the second night. So the first thing I'll tell you, I figured out the first night. Obviously, use as many wool blankets as you have. I had 4 of them. Slept on 1, covered up with the other 3. Put my poncho on top, my Marine Corps poncho, and that rubberized poncho helps keep the body heat in your wool blankets. It's just a little extra cherry on that wool blanket cake, if you will. But I was still cold because of what I hadn't figured out until night 2. And I can't take credit for it. I saw another guy do it. He actually put sandbags all around the edges of his tent. His primary reason for doing that is because on Friday it rained a ton. But I got to thinking, after laying on the ground and having wind, cold ass wind, because for those who don't know, Fort Morgan is literally across the street from the Gulf of Mexico. So all that cold air just blows, all that wind, just wind, wind, wind. So all that cold air was blowing under my tent all night on Friday night. So last night, after I got back from the bar, I took my crates that I use for my cooktop and my ammo cans and my cooler storage, and I put it on the wind side of my tent, the direction in which the wind was coming. I literally sat it on the edges of my tent, and then that helped keep the wind out, I'd say, by 70%. It actually helped so much that when I first went to sleep, I actually got back out of my covers, laid on 2 of them to provide myself extra padding, took my M1 jacket off, and slept with this hooded sweatshirt a knit cap, and my P41 utility jacket, and that worked great until about, oh, I don't know, 3 this morning. I got cold, so I got back up, put my M1 jacket back on. But anyhow, more of that later. Great event. Another disappointing thing, speaking of wind, I was not able to fly that drone. I didn't even try. Just being out in the wind all day, not only do I have sunburn, but everybody there got like windburn, as if we all spend the weekend skiing in Colorado. And so no drone footage, sadly. Just too damn windy, and I don't have a big enough, professional enough drone to handle that sort of wind. Actually, the wind was so bad that one of the 2 planes wasn't able to do their flyover, but the other one did. Crowd update. Crowd was a lot bigger than it was last year. Obviously, this is the second event in this area, plus last year they were dealing with Hurricane Matthew. So, turnout was good. As far as the crowd goes, you know, our reenactor turnout, there's probably, I'd say 100, I don't know, 120 or so. Had 2 guys fly in from Tokyo, Japan. Very cool guys. You guys know I'm a fan of Lucky Strikes. Now these are filtered. Check these out. One of them gave me a pack of Japanese Lucky Strikes. Pretty good. Liked them. They do have filters on them. He about plotzed himself when I explained to him that we could get Lucky Strike non-filters here for $10 a pack. He could not believe how expensive that was. But all in all, great time. Looking forward to coming back. I think next year we're on Wake Island, I think. Once again, it's early. I've probably had, out of the 9 hours of sleep time I've had over the last day, I've probably gotten a good 6 hours of sleep over the last 2 days. So I'm tired. I got a 9.5 hour drive. But anyhow, maybe when I get back into town and I can collect my thoughts and be a little more cognitive. So I tried to make myself some coffee this morning while I was packing up my tent, but both my propane cans ran out. By that time I was already packed up, so there's no reason to break out another propane tank and fire it back up. So Coke it is until I can find a more substantial coffee. But anyhow, thank you guys for tuning in, and you know the deal, links at the end, yada yada yada. WTSPWorldWar2.com. Thank you guys. I'm back. One thing I forgot to mention, and maybe some of you gunsmiths out there can help me, comment below. And I had forgotten that my M1 Garand had been suffering this ailment, and it happened to me, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes into the event. I've already changed my aperture once to try to avoid this. I'm going to try to change it one more time. It only happened once. Last event it happened twice, so that's why I changed my aperture. I don't know if it's a hot round. I'm assuming it is. I get my blanks from Atlantic Wall, the same place I bought my blank adapter from. But every once in a while, like I said, it happened once yesterday and twice at the last event. I'll be plinking away, pow, 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 boom, and nothing happens. The thumb, if you will, on the bolt carrier gets dislodged from its carriage on the charging handle. So basically the charging handle stays back, the bolt goes forward. Now you can slide it back a little bit, but you can't get the charging handle out to reseat it. So at the beginning of the battle, after I went through like 3 M blocks, I flipped it over, field stripping my gun right there in the middle of the, up against the wall. And because I had fixed it before, I knew how to quickly settle the issue. But if anybody's had that happen, if you think I got a bent rod or something, hopefully it's not a bent rod, because that's a big expensive to fix. But if you know what's going on, you know how to prevent that. Hopefully my hypothesis of maybe it's a hot round, cracking my aperture open a little bit higher will reduce the gas pressure. Maybe I'll can avoid that, because I have an event next weekend, a single day event. But if I can't get my gun to operation properly, there's no reason to go. And then I had 2 rounds not want to eject. And it's so funny that it happens, because you can't pull that charging handle back, but someone showed me the trick of just taking the butt of the gun and slamming it on the ground, and it'll come out once or twice, and then you can finally, you know, charge back and reseat a new round. So if anybody knows the deal on that, let me know. And by the way, I do have some of the What's the Scuttlebutt Lucky Strike Red Ball logo stickers left. I got a handful of them left, so if anybody wants one, comment below, and then I will give you an email address so you can email me your name, address, And actually, you know what, the hell it. If you want one of these stickers, email me info@WTSPWorldWar2.com. That's WTSPWorldWar2.com. Or if it's easier for you to remember, info@d-410.com. Just email me, say I want a sticker, give me your name, address, and it'll get in the mail to you. Anyhow, Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if you guys can see that. See if I can hook you up. That's how close we are to the water. I mean, we're on a peninsula. That's why it's so damn windy out here. We're catching from both sides. But anyhow, if you've never been to Fort Morgan, Alabama, or even if it's not the fort, the town itself, come out this way. It's really nice, really pretty, and good times. Anyhow,
this has been a Digital 410 production.